Welcome again to another episode of the WSXM podcast, where our united Africa is an undisputed Africa. So, President Ruto of Kenya gave travel to the US recently, and it cost Kenya a 1.5 million US dollars. How did this number came about, and why is it important? The economy is in shambles. He's cutting salaries of doctors, nurses, and he's telling them they must live within their means. While, sorry, he's flying around on a private jet, a royal private jet, on a trip to the US that does not yield any fruit. So let's dive into it. Take a listen to what he said first, and then we're going to discuss it. Take a listen.
I think the expenditure on my trip are completely exaggerated. They are actually bordering on the ridiculous. I am very careful about the resources that I spend. In fact, I have cut down on funding to my office. I have cut down on funding to different government agencies. In fact, I have reduced by 30%.
How much was it used for your trip?
There are people who will answer those questions, but I can tell you from where I sit that the numbers being bandied around are ridiculous.
So there you have it. The man sit there blatantly lying to the world, stating what everyone is saying about the cost of this trip is fake, it's lies, and it doesn't cost half as much when there is proof. So anyway, let's put it up on the screen. Look at it. That's the Royal jet. I'm not gonna lie, it's a very beautiful jet. The interior is very nice, as you can see. That's nice interior, a nice little travel for any president. But take a look at this. The cost for that for a trip, a one-way trip on that jet, is $746,600 for a one-way trip. I see the 1st of June. He spent 5 days in America, so there have to be a return. So the trip cost a total 1.5 one way, 746, and one way 746, almost 1.5. But that does not include taxes, landing taxes, the fee for storing for the waiting on him for the 5 days and stuff like that. So it adds up. And listen to what some of the politicians in Kenya are saying about this trip before I dissect it.
It would be very interesting for Kenyans to know how much it would have cost, right, to fly the president by KQ from Jomo Kenyatta to New York, or even indeed to Washington.
There was a heap of other people in the other flights. It's not that they were all in one plane. So we are only talking about those who are in the loyal jet, and it costed us 200 million shillings. And we still have not been told how much it costed us, because the plane waited for him for all the time that he was in the US.
These are some of the things that we expect leaders to speak openly and be truthful about this thing. And then let Kenyans then judge which is cheaper.
Well, so there you have it. They are 100% correct. Why do you need to hire a royal jet to go on a visit that does not yield any fruit? Why not use the Kenyan airline, which is already struggling? If you spend this money on the local airline, it can boost their profit line, their profit margin. So the money gets to circulate in the economy. Why spend 1.5 million plus, because there's other fees and taxes that's not included in that fee? But take a look at how much it would cost for them to fly on the Kenyan airline. If they had fly first class, business class, one of the best class there on any airline, business. Let's take a look at the cost. So there you have it on the screen there. $847,715. And that's in Kenyan shillings. That's not US dollars, that's Kenyan shilling. Two-way, that's both ways, going and coming. But let's run it out to 1 million. Because he took 30 people with him on this trip. So if you took 30 people, and that, why not use a Kenyan airline? Or better yet, why not charter the Kenyan airline to bring you to the US so they can make the money, so that you put it in the pocket of the princes when they don't need it. They are billionaires a couple times over. Your airline is struggling. Spend this money on your airline, and it wouldn't have even been half as much. Because every other African country this president does this, they don't hire private jets. They use their own country airline. They charter it, and then use it. Why not do the same thing? And it also put confidence in the airline, cause what the president is using it and flying on it, so it will make more people use it and trust the airline, and it will boost their bottom line. But no, it was to hire a private jet that costs 1.5, and you brought 30 people with you. So that what that mean? 30 people mean you have to rent cars, but luxury cars for them. You have to put them up in hotels because when you travel, you are responsible for your entourage. So, and I'm pretty sure they put them up in VIP rooms, not no regular hotel rooms. So that's another, who knows, another 500,000. And private cars, luxury vehicles, bulletproof vehicles for 30 people. Money for food, money for hotel, money for shopping because they don't get a shopping allowance. So he's saying he's cutting back 30%, but it's actually not factual because I did a video on this around a month ago. I'll put the link in the description, where his expenditure have shot up by 6 billion Kenyan shilling. That's how much it shot up in 1 year. So he's known as a traveling president because this man has traveled over 50 times. Can you believe that? Flying over the place. Why are you traveling so much? Look at Abraham Traore at Burkina Faso. He does not go nowhere. And your economy is in shambles. Why are you spending all this money on flights? Imagine that. He spent a total of 12.5 billion Kenyan shillings on just traveling alone. That money could have rerouted into the economy. Or if he can cut it into half and use that money to spend, you would save at least 6.5 billion, 6.25 billion Kenyan shilling. That would be a huge jump to help pay those doctors and nurses that was striking 2 weeks ago in Kenya. Let's say a month ago, roughly. I don't remember the exact date, but they was striking in the street for more pay. You could have used that money to pay them, but no. You want to play a big shot and go suck up to the American president, which is not doing nothing for your country. They're gonna promise deals, but nothing will come of it. They're gonna tell you, yes, we're gonna invest this much millions of dollars in your country or billions of dollars in your country. But at the end of the day, they will not, because America is seen overspending as well. So they're not gonna allow President Biden to spend billions of dollars in Kenya when they want the money to go to Ukraine. No, of course not. So he's lying blatantly now. This gentleman, President Ruto, started out so good. Then he just make a 180 and do the opposite of what he was doing. Now he's sending troops to Haiti. We need to protect our own people before we start to think about protecting other country. Leave America, they have a massive army. Leave them take care of that. Why you don't want to take soldiers from Kenya to go fight in Haiti? Makes no sense. This president has done so much harm to his country that the economy is in shambles. Um, thing is rising. What's the word of it? The cost of living in Kenya is rising, and he's taxing the hell out of Kenyans. He's raised taxes so much that it's getting more difficult for businesses to stay open. But why? Where is this money going? In his traveling. 12.5 billion shillings spent in 1 year on traveling. How is that possible? Why do you need to travel this much? Where are you going? What are you doing? And these trips are not yielding fruits because they are not signing deals to return with money to the country to expand the economy. But the fact that he's lying blatantly tells you the kind of person he is. We have proof now. There's no longer, you can say things we don't know about it. Now we have actual proof that the cost of your private jet, the cost of the Kenyan airline, big difference in prices. We can compare them and see if you will save it. So they cannot sit there and say, and then he's acting as if he don't know how much it costs. That's how you don't know how much a trip costs. I don't know, your people don't tell you this, but he's afraid to answer it in this interview. So hence the reason why he say yeah, other people for that. But yet they're gonna stay there and state that they're over exaggerating when there is proof. Boy, this is heartbreaking. President Ruto is running amok, and let's see what happened to him let me say so. Well, let's see what happened. I mean, there was talk um sanctioning him in his cabinet. So let's see if that happened. Um, um, and if they're gonna vote him, give him a vote of no confidence and get him out of there. Let's see. It has been talk of it. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. About President Ruto spending one over 1.5 billion US dollars to go to America to meet Biden for no reason because there was no deal signed, and while his economy is in shambles and his people are suffering. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the conversation as always. Telephone to telephone. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Boom.